So in today's video, we're talking about the new album by Disturbed. They are a new metal band. The album is called Divisive. The album was released on November 18th, 2022. This is album number 8 in their discography, produced by Drew Folk. He's a big name producer. He does a lot of albums for modern bands. The record label was Reprise Records. This is a follow-up to their last album called Evolution, released in 2018. Now that album I listened to a lot. I liked it. It was okay, but I mean that one was kind of commercial. And on this album, Divisive, it's a return to that like earlier sound. The band sounds the same. Now this is the kind of band that I think like the band relies on David Draymond's vocals. Like he's kind of like the star of this band because if you like took away his vocals and just listen to the instrumentals, there's not a lot of substance. You know, the guitars are there, but they kind of sound the same. A lot of the riffs are like a but you know, you kind of need like David Draymond to like make the sound. So that's kind of my biggest complaint with this band is like a lot of it kind of sounds the same, but you know, with the lyrics and the vocals that really makes this album and this band take off. So as for the songs, not a long album. I think it's only about like 38 minutes. What I'm gonna do is I'll talk about my 4 favorites. The one song I didn't like that much, and I think one song that kind of like stood out amongst the others, and then I'll just see if I can talk about the others if I have time. So my 4 favorites. The first single, Hey You, I like that one a lot. It's just new metal. Classic Disturbed is very angry and antagonistic. I think it's a good choice for a lead single. The lyrics are about like protest and like, you know, revolution. It's like, you know, seeing the guy down there is like, hey you're walking away, you know, listen to me. That kind of thing. You know, the guitars, they sound the same. The tone, the bass, the drums, it's kind of like mid-pace though. A lot of these songs do have like the same pacing, which is another complaint I'll have, but David Draymond, again, he just kind of makes it. So that one's pretty good. Then the second song, Bad Man, I like it a lot. It's a little more, you know, like angry, political. It's just more like kind of like a Rage Against the Machine, not by their sound, but just by lyrically. Talking about men who starts wars, just heavy guitars, pretty cool guitar solo. This album has some good solos, but that one stood out for me. And the song Unstoppable, another one, it's just a classic sound, very like a vengeful tone, you know, someone like looking for vengeance. You got the heavy guitar, you got the solo, you got those really like chunky riffs, it's mid-paced, and that typical, you know, chorus, you know, the I am, it's catchy, and it's pretty good. Okay, and the 4th song I liked was The Ballad, and this one has Ann Wilson. Now, I think that was a really good choice to have Ann Wilson, a classic rock singer. You know, they have the female vocals, but as someone who was like, I guess, a little more mature, who has been around for a long time, so that kind of really makes the song really sound really well. It's dark and emotional. It's about like love, loss, heartbreak. Very melodic. You got the clean guitars, the heavy guitars, the guitar solos. And that one I liked a lot. Now, the one song I didn't like that much is called Take Back Your Life. I think that one was like too electronic, I guess. It's kind of an inspirational song, living your life. But I think that one was a little more towards that like evolution kind of sound. That one I didn't really like as much. And the other one that stood out was the final song called Won't Back Down. And I like this because this was the one song where I think the guitars stood out more than like the rest of the songs in the album. This one has the best like guitar riffs. It's just an angry song talking about living your life. So David Draymond, he does those, you know, that sound he makes with a Down with a Sickness, and you're like, ooh, wah. The variations of that sound, you know, on a couple songs. So you're gonna get a lot of that throughout this album. I think it's good. It's a return to form. You know, it's closer to their mid like 2000s. That like Asylum, that type of period. More of an angry tone, a little more political. But as far as originality, there's nothing really original here. The production sounds good. It's very heavily produced. Has that modern production sound. I think this is an album for fans of the old Disturbed, like the classic mid 2000s Disturbed. It might find new fans. I think you know, if it gets, you know, played in, you know, a typical setting, radio, whatever, you know, it might attract new fans. But it's an album. I listened to it 3 times today. I think it's pretty good. I think as far as catchiness and memorability, the songs are pretty good. Originality, not that really great. So my final score is going to be a 7.5 out of 10. So that's my final score. I made these like new drawings today just to show my little rating. So this is my 7.5 out of 10 little drawing here. So that is all. Please like, comment, subscribe. New album reviews by Nickelback, Neil Young, Arc of Life, Candlemass. That one was really good. So that's all. Thanks for watching. See you all in the next one.